At the end of our last video, we talked about the need to validate the user input so that if they put something other than Y or N, our program could handle it and give an appropriate response. So we're going to implement that functionality using a while loop. And while loops operate very similarly in the way we did them in Python. So let's go ahead and I'm going to remove this line for right now. And I'm going to start by putting a variable this time. And I'm going to start it with an empty string. So the decision is going to be a variable because that if the person puts in the wrong answer, I may have to assign a different value to it multiple times. So it needs to be a variable because the value of a constant cannot change. And just so I know that's not an error, I'm just going to put a comment, empty string. Okay, let's go ahead and implement our while loop. So I'm going to start with the keyword while, then an exclamation point, which means not. And I'm going to use parentheses to group an expression. So decision equals yes or Y. So I want the input to be a Y or an N, and I want the program to keep prompting if it's not a Y or an N. So I'm going to check for Y or, and in Python we could actually write the word or, but in Swift or is represented by two vertical lines, and the vertical lines are above the enter key. Decision equals no. Don't forget to put two equal signs, as that's the comparison operator. So this says if the decision is not Y or N, go ahead and do what's in the while loop. And remember, the first time through, it's going to go through this while loop because decision has been defined as empty string, so it's not Y or N. So let's go ahead and prompt again. Decision equals getLin, our helper function. And we can say if decision equals, actually I'm going to go ahead and be lazy here. And I'm going to take this and cut it and put it up in my while loop. And I'm going to change one little thing. If the decision equals Y, we can do this. Else if decision equals no, or N, print that. Otherwise, if it's anything but Y or N, we're going to put print. Sorry, I didn't get that. So again, the decision starts out as an empty string. It's not Y or N, so it at least goes through the while loop at least once. Gets the input. If it's Y, we'll travel a random planet. If it's not, we'll let the user pick. Otherwise, we'll say, sorry, I didn't get that, and it'll go through the while loop again until we get the right answer. So let's go ahead and run this. I'm going to hit Shift Command C to get to the console. Type in my name. Shall I randomly choose a planet for you to visit? Sure. Sorry, I didn't get that. Yes, please. All right, well now I'll put N, and it says, now name the planet you would like to visit. So you can see that I have to put in a Y or an N before it'll let me out of the loop. So now we're going to make sure that the user types in exactly what we want, and the program will keep prompting until the user gives us that information. So you can see that our program is getting a little more complicated and starting to get filled up. So we are going to start making some other classes to help model this information in a more structured and object-oriented way. And we'll start to do that in the next lesson.